said I was a jig. Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long, say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent my 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the back then, you out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip. Crush.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the New Orleans Saints. Gets fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. 180. Check. Walk 54. Walk 54. You better bring it.
Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A run for Nick Chubb. And, right away, he lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Check 24, check 24. 11.
On the carry, it's Chubb, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Chubb. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They go with Chubb on second down, and he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
No gain there on the completion, second and 10.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. They'll run now with Burkhead. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Just like that. Just like that.
On second and 2, Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, third and 2.
Hey, tight down. There you go.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. First down. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Coming to you. 1, 2.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Now that'll be caught by Cup. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 30-yard line.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They run. Chubb. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
3rd and 4.
Here we go. 180. Check. Watch 54. 1, Omaha. Alert flare. 11.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. First target, first catch, and a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, alert.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. This one complete to Jordan Reed. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch twist. 21.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Maurice Hurst, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A toss play to Chubb. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Clayton Gathers makes the stop.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Go.
Garoppolo now. And now Garoppolo lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 35. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Here's Booker. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Add this gain to the last one, and they move the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Set! 180! Get ready! Get ready! Take both of them!
First down, here's the run with Martin. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the Saints' 29-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. Black 80.
Crunch time, defense. 59, Mark, 59.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Wilson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. This will be caught at about the 6. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
At the 2-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They'll run for it with Martin. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Whitney Merciless, showing no mercy, flies in for the sack. Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal. This from 25 yards out. The kick by Bryant is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Push him back.
On 2nd and 9. Garoppolo. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13. Garoppolo now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
That's another Saints 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half.
Here we go.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. 2nd half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. It's caught on the right side. Williams. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. 21 yards there on 3rd down. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
1st down, Indianapolis.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run, Martin, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Got his man, it's Williams. And he'll go down at the 28.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Good on! Black 20! 53!
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Caught left side, Williams. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. A give running right is Chubb. Got some room at the 30. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. 31 yards there and a first down. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now Chubb. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Garoppolo. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Maurice Hurst in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Here's Garoppolo to throw. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They start the drive with Martin. And a healthy gain of 8 here. They double their workspace out to the 16.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. On the draw, it's Booker. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Ready? Black 80. 50 solid. 5 down. Hey, check. He's checking.
They'll run it. Here's Martin. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
230. Check 53. Oh, here we go. Oh.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. They set up the screen to Booker. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
A gain of 11 on the play. And the Colts first down.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. They'll run on first down. Martin. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. Here's Booker on the catch. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to fourth down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Jones on the return. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. To throw on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Maurice Hurst, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? To throw is Garoppolo. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
I'm not ready. Switch.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
You go tight. You got tight. 12. Watch the safety creep. Hey, gun. Mike.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6. Job 1 to pick up the first down is complete. That was a big 3rd down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a 2-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be upped. And what they do is they tell the quarterback in his helmet, hey, listen, when we pick up the first down here, tell everyone we're going. We're moving now to 2-minute offensive phase, and everyone on the bench area, they're waving them along too. Let's go.
Here we go.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Nice, sweetheart.
On the ground, it's Chubb. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Jordan Reed has it. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Saints, first down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The first down run with Chubb is going to go nowhere. He's, in fact, going to lose a couple. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. To throw is Garoppolo. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rodgers. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 33. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. The 2nd down run for Burkhead. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. And this is caught at the 8. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Now Garoppolo. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Buffalo to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
Intercepted by the Colts. His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Indianapolis, they remain in the hunt for a
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, no man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, no man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. Slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. You know that we keeping it low key. I can carve up the D like a turkey. I run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't